Yes, sir. We can hear you, sir.
All right, so welcome. Okay. So last time we looked at A to D, which was majorly giving us the foundational aspects on Power BI. So we concluded that when we continue, we'll start with index and conditional columns. So let's go to our Power BI. Let's see how this works. Now, when we talk about this indexing and conditional columns, I want to give you a scenario. Let's assume you work for a company that receives customer feedback, and let's say you're in that company, your job in that company is to analyze this feedback for the company using Power BI. Why? Because you want to understand maybe the customer's preferences, their sentiments, and be able to improve the product and services of that company. Index here comes to play. It has a role to play. The index has a role to play. We call it index column. Now, I want you to think of this word index in this context as giving each pieces of that feedback a unique number. Giving each pieces of that feedback a unique number. Let's say, let me open my notepad. A unique number. Now, it's just like a ticket number. When you go to an event, most times they give you a ticket number. So look at index column as a ticket number, because if we're looking at it as a ticket number, the same way ticket number helps you have access to an event. In this context, the index column, based on that scenario I just shared, where you want to manage customers' feedback, the index column in this context will help you keep track of every feedback item. Now looking at the customer's feedback as a feedback item. As a feedback item. Hope we understand this. I'm just trying to think of how to relate it to you before we do any practical stuff. We said we are looking at a scenario where you work for a company that gives you a job to handle for them. And they are telling you that, look, in this job, your duty is that you to analyze customers' feedback data for us using Power BI to help us understand what our customers or how our customers are feeling. We want to improve our company's product and services. We can only achieve that on certain aspects. Maybe there are factors to be put into consideration, and one of them are what or how or what do our customers say concerning our product? Are they okay with it? Are they satisfied? Is it meeting their expectation? When you have such scenario, the index column is very important. I will show you. But first, you must understand what it means within this context. And that's why I said you should think of it whenever you're working. Think of the index column as giving each piece of feedback, those feedback you're receiving from first customer, second customer sends their feedback. Maybe you decided, the company decided that, okay, how do we get feedback from our customers? You then say, okay, let us give them, send them, or each time they come to, if you say hotel, to lodge, or each time they come to buy our product, why don't we issue a kind of a card, feedback card, and let them feel it? Do you understand? Hello? I don't know. Hello?
Hi.
Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
You gave them the card to fill. Now look at, one card is a piece in this case. So think of index column as you giving that card a number. Do you understand? First card, let's say we are giving first card 0, or since it's for customers feedback, we can use an encoding technique. We say C for customer, F for feedback, C. That's customer feedback card 1. Think of this as what we call index column. I believe this one is cleared now, because you have just given each piece of the feedback card a unique number. This number is the index column. It will help you keep track of every feedback card you receive from those customers. You have 3 customers. One named Bukayo. Hope I got your name clear today, man. Bukayo. Don't know if it's what I called. We have another called Cynthia. Another called Uchechi. You'll receive feedback from these 3 customers. You assign them your index column numbers. CFC 1, CFC 2, three. This way, you can easily identify and reference each feedback item whenever you need it. You've understood this now. Good. Let me add someone so that we'll move before someone wants to join this class. Okay, welcome, Mrs. Benedicta. Good to have you on board. Now, how about columns? Hope this is recording. How about conditional columns? Now, for conditional columns, I'll tell you how it works now. For conditional columns, imagine these your feedbacks. You decided, let me create categories for these feedbacks. For instance, let's say the feedback we got from Bukayo's card, her feedback was that she loves our product so much. This was her feedback. I love your product so much. Cynthia was like, wow, your services are awesome. Uchechi gave us a feedback. let's look for something different, like I had a bad experience. Now imagine you want to sort these feedbacks into different categories. You cannot just do it on your own. You need an assistant. Let me use the word assistant that will help you do this. That assistant that will help you sort these categories or sort these feedbacks into different categories is what we refer to as conditional columns. Conditional columns. These are your feedbacks. I want to sort them. How do I do it? I need something to help me sort this feedback into different columns or into different categories. The conditional columns is what you use to do that, because condition is now coming into play. These categories, we can look at it as different conditions. Now, if I talk about categories now, let's say for every customer's feedback that sounds nice, cool, I want to categorize them, or you want to categorize them as positive. So we can come here and call these categories positive. Let's say for feedbacks that are not positive, we say that are bad, we say negative category. There are some feedbacks, some persons may say they don't know, or may not answer, or may say something that is not positive and is not negative. We can say, let that one be something like neutral or fair, whatever you want to use as an analyst. Now, these are our categories, how we want to categorize these feedbacks. Therefore, if a customer's feedback includes words like love, maybe excellent, maybe, oh, your products are great, we want a system whereby it will automatically be labeled as positive. If a customer's feedback does not contain positive words or negative words, we want it to be labeled as neutral. If a customer's feedback in this company includes words like terrible, bad experience, unhappy, we want it to be labeled as negative. For you to be able to do this, you need to apply what we call conditional columns, because this becomes your assistant, so that when you receive those feedbacks on system, those feedback will get categorized into any of these categories. I love your product, positive. Wow, your service are awesome, positive. I had a bad experience, negative. Do we understand this? Let's go to Power BI. Do we understand? Any question?
Hello, sir.
I'm with you, sir.
So, I want to try to understand the main function of the index.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
let me explain the way I understand it.
Okay.
So, I said that the index simply means to create this kind of identification of customer feedback.
Okay.
So, he said we should think of a particular code so that we can use to identify specific feedback to individual customer.
Okay. Yes.
So under it, so we now create a conditional column
Okay.
so that we use to analyze the positive response and negative response. Isn't it, sir?
Yes. I said that, you know, you go for events, you go for party. Okay. So it's like
Yes, sir.
you have this party. I want us to go and practicalize this thing now on Power BI. You see how we'll do it. But first, you need to understand it. If you don't understand it now, if I go there, it will not take me 2 minutes. I will do it there. But if you don't get this understanding now, if you have different kind
Yeah.
of problems, you'll be confused. But when you understand what's happening, what I've just tried to explain, trust me, there's no kind of problem they will give you that you cannot handle. Do you understand?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
So the index is like that number your tickets carry, that someone else can't carry the same ticket with you. You want to enter, maybe your number is ticket number 10. If another person comes with 10, you'll be rejected because that's your own ID number. Do you get? So that's why I was saying that it is like giving you now, let's say you now, you own a shop, you sell things to people. You understand? It's like you giving each of those items you're selling a number because you want to keep track of all those items. In the aspect of um, the events I was talking about, I said it's like a ticket number for the events. You visit a park, they give you event, you pay 500 naira, you enter. Your ticket must have a number. That's what we refer to as I'm giving you that is the index column. Do you understand? And I said, as an analyst, you need to learn process of giving. Someone spoke to me today. He was like, sir, that he was calling to make inquiry. So it was like that data analyst, data analytics. Is it not for him to go to Cargo, to go to online and download? I told him, you don't do that. Please, everyone should also take notes. You don't go online and go and download data. No. You can see how we form data here. Just with these things here, you see us form data. That's what you do. Sometimes they will tell you the problem with mouths. You'll be the one to structure it out, how it should be. Do we understand? Hello? Someone wants to join. Let me. I don't know if Mrs. Vivian names. Do we understand?
Yes, sir.
You understand
Yes,
what I'm
sir.
saying? Do you understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
You don't just go to online. That's how some people were thinking that they will go online and go and download. You don't go and download anything. Don't go and download anything. The company have told you, okay, look at what you'll be doing for us. We want to know what our customers are thinking about our product. Maybe customers, we found out that in 2021, we used to have high turnouts. In this month, the kind of the money we used to make, but all of a sudden, we no longer make it. Don't you know they need you?
Question concerning vital information you raised now.
Okay.
You know, he said we shouldn't. It's not every time we should go online to go and download the data.
You don't even go and download. You understand?
But the question is that I've raised the question, but it's not in this class. Maybe from a colleague that I said we are not a uh, data engineer, data engineering. We are data analysis. So data analytics. So we are not responsible to sort for the data. Our own major responsibility is to analyze a data. So now you are not saying we are the one to sort for a data now. I'm getting confused, sir. That's my question.
Okay. All right. That's good one. So you're right. You're hearing me, sir Mayowa. You're right. Now, don't blame me anyway. I'm bringing advanced aspects here. I know that the job of a data analyst is to analyze data you collate. You get. Now, the online I'm talking about, the context I'm coming from for online, what I actually mean is that this person was thinking that you want to analyze data for a company, you go online and browse the data. Do you understand? The company have to give you the data. Take, analyze for us. It's different from going online to Cargo, go and type sales data. The sales data you are going to browse, is it for that company in Nigeria? Or is it for that company? Is those data that are online on a web page are data that have already been done, constructed by someone who uploaded it there. So you only use those data to practice. Those are not what you use on real life settings for a company. It's either the company gives you the data themselves, or there is still the aspect of requirements gathering where you gather information. You remember we said data is everywhere. Data is anything. Okay. So I don't want you to be a kind of analyst that if not you will not get job quick. Can you hear me, Samayowa? If you're an analyst that
But I hear you, fine.
if you're the type of analyst that you only want to wait till they give you data, you will not get this is how to get job quick. Companies need analysts. Not all of them will tell you. Some of them don't really understand the value yet. So if you're waiting that way, you have to, what I'm trying to say is this, okay? You need to solve problem. Some problems must not be given to you direct, maybe in Excel format. I don't want you to, like some persons who learn from other institutes, that's the kind of idea they carry in their head. Data must come in Excel, then they will now upload it to Power BI. No, be a problem solver. Someone should tell you something, be able to critically figure out what should I do to this. Do you understand? From a problem someone tells you, you should know what columns should I create. No, look at this that I did here. This company, we said we did it together, that this company have a problem. Maybe their sales performance have dropped and they want to know. We say, oh, sir, let us do a feedback analysis. You are the one that brought the idea for the company. You understand? You brought the idea for them. Because the market is becoming competitive. So you need to be a critical thinker. You need to apply brain work. You brought it. Okay, how can we achieve it? You say, good. I will use Excel. I will create a column for this. I'll create a column for this, for this. That way you've prepared yourself preparation of data for them. Do you understand? So yes, the duty of the data analyst is to collect data, analyze. It's different from data and being a data engineer, a data scientist. But please also do that work. Do you understand, Samayowa? Also add that one. Not
Okay, sir.
difficult. It's not difficult. Have that skill. Add it. You understand? So that you don't just rely on only one aspect of information. No. Be able to figure out and create. You understand? Thank you. Someone wants to join this class. I'm trying to add. So is have any question? The reason why I'm saying is because When some of the kind of job I used to have is those kind of job. Yes, they don't give me do this. No, that's how you help companies, solve their problem for them. You will be the one to create everything from scratch. Can we proceed? Do we understand? Do we understand? At Bukayo, do you understand? Let me, Sadan, Sajide, sir.
Hello. Hello.
I'm with you, sir.
Okay. You can go ahead.
Do you understand, sir? If you don't understand, ask question. Sir Chooks, do we understand? Sir Joseph. All right, so let's proceed. Okay, so that's for index and that's for the conditional columns. So now, what you are going to do is this. I want us to create a feedback table on Excel. So it will be nice we do this. Tell them in your own learning center, you people create data from scratch. No shortcuts here. People are taught how to create and prepare data from scratch. The work of a data engineer or scientist. So we'll call this our feedback table. Feedback data table. So let's say our attributes are feedback ID. Now, because we are going to upload this into Power BI or a database system, when you're giving space, put underscore. So I'll put my underscore. Let me zoom this so everyone sees it.
Hello, sir. I can't see screen again.
You can't see my screen, Sir Chooks. Can you see it now so I can quickly reshare? Can you see it now, sir? Sir Chooks, so
Yes, sir, I can see you.
okay. So
I
this is
can
our
see you.
feedback, feedback table, feedback ID, customer, this customer name. So put your underscore. So that even your Python and other data system can decode this. This feedback text. We can call this text. I think text should be good. Those comments now, those statements we'll receive. Okay, we can call it feedback statement or response. Okay. People don't want this class to be interactive. Everyone are just keeping quiet, leaving only me here. Even my friend Roots, Megan Center.
Hello, sir.
I'm, I'm with you, sir.
No, can you see?
Can you hear me? Okay. Don't mind my coloring, please. The color should be consistent with the organization color. Okay, so we have feedback data table. We have feedback ID, customer name, feedback response. What was the name of those? What were their names? Their names, please. Who can remind? Because what are their name? I have a lot of this thing on this my system here. Where is that notebook?
Hello, sir.
I'm with you. Okay,
Bukayo, Cynthia.
and Uchechi. Okay, this is it. Let me copy it. So ID is going to. I made mistake here. So this is our index. This is our index column. Why did I put? Oh, wow. Sorry, someone wants to join. God will help us in today's class. This one is CFC2. Some persons are not in this class, and I notice they are not even watching the video. Hope they will not come when we have gone far to come and drag us back. Nobody will wait for them. If you know any of them, tell them. Okay, so we have our feedback data table now. The feedback ID, you can see them here. This is the customer name. You can even just say, let this be 1, let this be 2. It will not confuse us. These are the customer name in column B. These are the feedback response. Now, you have done this. That's good. You did this. You took the cards and prepared this. Not that they have prepared this and give it to you. That should come in, but also to develop something. Then go and save it. File, save as, browse. Your file explorer, call it feedback data set. This is the data set I can now go and upload on Cargo. People will now rush and be using it. You can only use it for practice. I'll then go to my Power BI after saving it on Excel. I'll come and do what we call loading. I'll load that data into Power BI. How do I do this? I told you, choose your data source through get data. Come down, since it's on Excel workbook. Then go to documents where we have it. I will search for it. That is feedback. This is it, feedback data set. Open. That's how to load my feedback data set data. Please, there is a background noise. The person can mute, please. Thank you. Just help us. Remember this window, the navigator window. What will I do here? It's showing me the table. That's the sheet. We have just one table, one sheet. The feedback data table sheet that is there. So I'll click on it. This is it. I've seen it here. So what do I do? Now I would love to even do something here. Let's go back and bring that in. So I'm going to go to my data view. Okay, we have not loaded it yet. So let's, I want to adjust it. I want to clean it. Remember data cleaning. I need to clean it. Someone wants to join. Yes, that's okay. This is it. So let this be the name of the, always make this the name of the sheet if it's whatever I want to use. Okay. All borders. Okay, this is perfect. Save. So let's go to our Power BI, get data on the ribbon, Excel workbook. Look for feedback data sets, open. It's opening. Let me confirm this class is recording. All right. The first, now you see the name appear, feedback data table. Click on it on the navigator window. This is it, feedback data table. I'm seeing a column there, column 4. If you notice that there is a column that is not supposed to be part of it, like column 4, there is 2 things you can do. Either you go back to the source, which is this, go and delete that column, then you save it again. Or on your BI, you will use what we call transform data. Can you all see transform data here? That means I want to go and transform. That's the process of data transformation I talked about in last class, using what we call the Power BI query editor, known as Power Query. So I will use, instead of loading it yet, I will not load it because it's not clean. There is something I don't need. So I will use transform data. But how about I have saved it? What will I do? I will click refresh. Can you all see where we have refresh? Hello? Are we following? Can you all see where we have refresh?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I know I'm
Yes,
We are
asking.
following.
I know I'm saying these things. So I'll refresh it. Has it taken it away or it did not take it away? It took it away because when we refresh, immediately it's read and linked up with the source and found out that in the source, that column that was extra, that has nothing, missing data, have been removed. So it was able to refresh it. It's just like we saying this feedback ID, this customer name, this feedback response, and I'm still on the navigator window. And then I'm told that after feedback customer name, there is something like customer state. I will just go to the source and put the state in that data. Then I'll come back here and refresh. If I refresh, I will see it appear. So that saves me time instead of coming to transform data. Transform data will take me to the query. I don't want to waste that time. I will go back to the source, do the changes, do my Ctrl S to save it. Come here, click refresh here, or you click refresh here. Once you're done, load. That's all. That's how to load. Now, let's focus on index column. I've said many things about the index column. How do we create an index column? I know I gave you that those IDs as index column, but how do we create it? Yeah, in Power BI. To do that, come to this ribbon under Home tab. You see where we have Transform Data. Click on it. Then scroll down, choose Transform Data. It will take you to the Power Query editor. When we come here, go to this option called Add Column. It's a tab. We call it the Add Column tab. You notice we have File, Home, Transform, Add. Add Column. Click on that tab. Once you click on that tab, come here. Can you see where we have Index Column? Hello, everyone. Can you all see where we have index column and conditional column?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I said go to transform data. It brings you here. Come to add column tab. Come down to index column. Choose this second option from one. From one means we have the feedback ID, which we said they are the index column. We gave it 1, 2, 3. So to be linked up from 1 followed 2, 3. So I'll click from 1. Can you see the index now replicated that feedback ID on a new column called index? This is what we call the index column. That's it. That's just how to create an index column. Now that you have known how to create index column, how about conditional column? The same place here, or maybe when you created index column, you left to home tab. Go back to add column. This time around, conditional column. See it here. That's what you click on. Conditional column. Remember what we said about conditional column. I said it's like an assistant that will help you sort those feedbacks. See the feedbacks. They are here looking at us. See the feedbacks. This conditional column is now an assistant to us. You will see how the conditional, let's say, want to give him a name. We'll call him Afa or Chinonso. We'll see how Chinonso is going to help us sort these feedbacks into different categories. That's how we'll be able to make decisions based on certain conditions. Hello, can everyone hear me? Welcome. Hello.
I hear you, sir.
So have you people done it? You have not done it. It's the same thing now. It's the same thing. Can you hear me? Roots. Mr.
My
Man.
table refused to load, sir.
Okay. So it's the same thing I did. That's what you do. I just want to be sure that your own works. Do you get? We said this category. Before I stepped out, this category. This was feedback response. Love. We said where our feedback response contained the keyword love, it should give us an output positive. The same we did. You have to select the column name that links to it. We said this, where we have what's that? That's saying, wow, your services are awesome. So now, instead of using this love, let's do this. Okay, we said this neutral. Feedback response. We said this negative. So the feedback response should always contain words that are unique. Sorry, someone wants to join. Trying to. So I was saying that the feedback response that are unique. Okay. For instance, let's just enter it completely. Let's assume that on the feedback card, where on the card, the feedback response will be customized on those cards. It's for customer to tick on it. So in that case, it's just like this feedback card that was given to them. We have customized feedback messages. Do you love our product so much? You choose, I love your product so much. For customers who don't know what answer to give, they can choose, wow, your services are awesome. For customers who, to them, our services have not been encouraging, they should go ahead and choose, I had a bad experience. So that way the setup will be easier. We'll just copy this I love and put it inside value. Do you get? We'll do the same thing for this index here. We'll put it here. We'll do the same thing for I had a bad experience. We'll copy and put it here. So that's all we are going to do this way. So if you still want to use the love, then you want to use the maybe will not work because maybe it's not in that statement. I told you the keyword must be in that statement. So try it from your end later using bad, using this your services are awesome. I'm not even seeing any keyword. That's one of the reasons why the previous one did not run. It was showing us null instead. Because to it means not applicable. Not applicable. That's just it. So if we save this now, I love your product so much. Anyone who chooses this, let conditional column assistant recognize it as positive under feedback category. Don't use a keyword that is not stated. Wow, your services are awesome. I had a bad experience. So let's say, okay, let's see if we're going to have the assistant assist us with this information. Then moving forward, as more data is sent, all you'll be doing is to refresh from your Power Query here. I'll show you how to do that. As you refresh, it will automatically be pushing them to the specific category they belong. Okay. So when I click OK now, you can see we have feedback category. So if there was to be a data that have been added, what we would have done would have been to refresh this. Sometimes we work with some of these columns that we have here. There is this one. You can even use this enter data to come and enter your data there. But don't worry about it. You can just go to new source and get the data again to combine it, do a kind of combining. From what I'm saying is that, remember this data is from a source. So let's assume that, take notes, we have 3 customers, Bukayo, Cynthia, and Uchechi. So we have Victor. Victor is a new person, Victor. What we'll just do, your own duty is to be working here. Maybe they gave this to you, and number 4, Victor. What Victor's feedback response was he loves product so much. We also have Roots. Roots was like, our services are awesome. will just update this, my record, and save, Control S. Then go back to Power BI and refresh on the Home tab in your Power Query here. You see where we have refresh preview. That's what I'll click on. Refresh all. Can you see? Hello, can you all see what happened? When I clicked on refresh all, Victor's record is updated. Root's record is updated. The feedback category automatically assisted me in moving it to that particular category where it belongs
There
to.
is noise on the background. Please.
Mr. Mayowa, can you mute yourself? Thank you, sir. So we saw how it worked, right? This is the feedback category we created using the conditional column. And I said that from time to time, each time your customer's feedback list or record is updated, all you need to do is to come to your transform. It brings you to this page. Always come on the Home tab, come to refresh preview. Choose refresh all. To refresh it, I'll do it again. The record was updated due to card received from some new, due to card received from customers. What I'm going to do, so come here. This is Joy. Joy said she had a bad experience. This is Jones. Jones said he had a bad experience. Lastly, this is Frank. Frank is saying he had a good experience. I will say save. I'll go back here to my BI. What will I do? I'll come to the Home tab, which is still open. Refresh preview. Under refresh preview, refresh all. That's all. Joy, Jones, Frank uploaded. The conditional column as an assistant does its job to assist by doing what? Assisting me by ensuring that feedback responses are assigned to that feedback category where it belongs. Now, once this is done, you then come under File, click on the drop-down Close and Apply. You choose Close and Apply. You then come here and visualize that data you have. We can create a table under. Someone wants to join. Under your visualization, your canvas here, under visualizations, we can use a table. This table visual is it. You can expand it. Then you have to place all of this on it. So we can say, let's place customer, place feedback ID, place feedback response on it. So I'll come here now. So this is how to visualize in a table. If it's looking too small, go to format your visual here. Click on it. Come down to values. All these are values. You see we have text font size. increase it. So as I'm increasing it, it's increasing. So can now come back here and expand this. If it's not enough, increase it. So this is it. So but for the headers, they're also small. So go to format your visual. Make sure you select the widget. Click inside it. Go to format your visual. Come down to column headers. Click on it. I don't know if you can still hear me. Are we disconnected? Okay. So
with you, sir.
come to column headers. Scroll down. Bold. It's bold. Increase it. Let it be clear and sharp. Change the color from black to something else. Background. Are you okay with that? Okay. Can give it a background. Centralize it. Keep it like this. Why don't we make it white text? Make the background black. Totals. Do we need this total? Those are feedback ID. We don't need to sum it. So click on totals. Come down. Values. Turn it off. Takes it away. Don't need it. Grid lines. See all these lines that are inside. If you don't want it, click on grid. Remove it. It's on. Click on the on to off it. Supposed to take it away. If it's still there, don't worry. On it. Click on color. White. Supposed to take it away. The width. Increase it. So that this will be increased for you. Okay, you can see the grid lines have gone. So that's it. That's that. Come to general. You want to your title, you can put your title. Then we can take this away here. This maybe you want to edit this sum of feedback ID. Header icons. Let's see. Okay, so just do it based on this. So this in a tabular format. But I can go to a new page below, page 2, and say, why don't I use my bar? Something like this. And say, let those be my analysis for, what can we do? Customers name and their category. So you can see customer's name. Okay, let's represent the customer's name with the index. Okay, so we're going to use another visual like this. All right. So please practice the. These are going to end. Promise 5 minutes. So please practice what we talked about. So I just created a slicer by the side. You know what we use slicer for, but as we proceed with the training, I don't want to jump some aspects. So always learn and master how to edit. Then not only that, with slicer now, if I want to run a quick report for each of this, maybe I want to know, okay, let's say for this widget, what we have there is just feedback category. Maybe we did our feedback category using our funnel. I've told you how to remove this. By the side, the three dots, remove. So let's create.
Hello, sir.
We are done. No, don't mind that I'm playing around. I'm with you, sir.
Okay.
Questions? Any questions?
I want to notify you in a time to 11. Eh,
Oh, yes, yes. Okay, so thanks everyone. Thank you. So, Mr. Mayowa, can you hear me?
Sir? Yeah, I can hear you.
Open your SQL, screenshot what you said it's showing you. Let me see.
Hello, sorry, sir. Is the class over? Can we remove us?
So this is where we're going to end. This is where we're going to end. I was just trying to provide this thing here. So if we want to view for Jones, so click Jones, you can see Jones' response is negative. Okay, his index number is 7. If we say, how about a quick report for Uchechi? Uchechi is negative 2. Victor is positive. Cynthia is neutral. Bukayo is positive. Frank is positive. So this is just a simple, you can see the interaction between it. Okay, so this is where we're going to round up for today's session. Thank you everyone. So I will send the recorded video so you practice the index to the conditional, how to create them from data view. You can see what we did. Our indexes, our feedback category, our feedback response, customer name, feedback ID. Even when you're given a prepared data or a data you're asked to work on from scratch, those are all you will do. So in our next meeting, we'll continue from where we stopped. We'll be looking at grouping and aggregating data. We'll do all of this. All right. Thank you. Have a good night rest.